Lesson 8, a vision of love. So we last time looked at some of the general basic divisions of the law and some how they're prioritized, different characteristics of the law, divisions of the law are prioritized. It's one law, it remains one law of God. But there are these parts that we can distinguish. And in this lesson, our focus is on what we call the moral law. And we ask the question, is there a fundamental center for the law? Is there a basic governing principle of the law? And actually, the answer is absolutely, and it's readily available, both by looking at the law itself, but also by listening to Jesus and listening to Paul and James and the apostles. It's interesting how uniform the understanding is that the heart of the law is love. And that's why this lesson is called A Vision of Love. Of course, we're familiar with the two great commandments. And interestingly, they're not part of the 10. Some will say, they summarize the 10, the love of God and love of neighbor, and that's true. I would say that they summarize in some way all the rest of the laws too, in terms of how we approach God in our covenant relationship and how we approach our neighbor and in the environment and our animals and all those other areas of life that we're in relationship. And so love is the unifying principle. Deuteronomy, just over and over again, calls us to love God. I think 10 times the Shema is repeated. Love the Lord your God with all your heart. And so it's a heart. He's calling on us to love from the heart. Of course, what we'll discover about the law is the heart is exactly the problem. Man's hearts, man just won't act from the heart because the heart is so fallen. But the law itself is calling out for a love from the heart. And that's what this lesson is all about.